I've been lying to you guys. You see, if you don't know, many times in my past videos, I have said that Chapter 5 Season 3, or Wrecked as it's more commonly known, is the worst Fortnite season of all time, with very little redeeming qualities.
This is definitely the best of Season 3's batch. I mean, I may absolutely despise Season 3 with every fiber of my being. Oh my god, Wrecked was absolutely terrible. Worst season ever. Don't even get me started about Wrecked. I'm actually getting mad just thinking about it. Have my own too. I mean, I am completely aware that there are some sociopaths out there that think Wrecked was one of the greatest seasons of all time.
Well, I've become the very thing I swore to destroy, because Wrecked was actually amazing. I was only just saying that because it was just the popular opinion at the time, but now I feel like I can actually say this and be confident with myself. This was honestly my favorite season of all time, and it's not even close. And today, I'm going to explain why. The map changes this season were some of the most unique and phenomenal we've ever seen. Firstly, they removed fencing fields, which is one of my least favorite locations on the map in Seasons 1 and 2, and replaced it with the greatest POI of all time, hands down, Nitro. There was so much loot here all the time, and it was very fun and not tedious at all to drive around the middle for 2 minutes to spawn the medallion. After that, we have Sandy Steps, which removed all the trash Family Guy stuff from Snooty and replaced it with sand, my favorite. Unfortunately, Brutal Beachhead and Redline Rig were pretty mid, with terrible medallions and very little traffic. The only good parts of those two locations were the boss cars. So I'd give the map changes this season an 8 out of 10. This season's loot pool was absolutely amazing. For the shotguns, we had the absolutely terrible hammer pump shotgun, which we're not even going to talk about, the combat, and the absolutely amazing gatekeeper, which was just so balanced and skillful. It felt very punishing when another gatekeeper user killed you, so it balanced out effectively. And the combat shotgun was a solid mid-range option, especially in Zero build. The ARs this season also felt really good. We had amazing weapons like the Chapter 5 Tactical Assault Rifle and the Enforcer. And then the Warforged, which was pretty terrible, I'm not gonna lie. And then that got swapped out with the Combat AR halfway through the season, which I also didn't like that much. And the supplementary weapons were just a lot of leftovers from Seasons 1 and 2, stuff like the Thunderburst, Huntress DMR, Ranger Pistol, just some good stuff that's not really like mainstays in the loot pool, but it's nice to have, you know. Now the main items they added this season were the Nitro stuff, the Nitro Fist and the Splashes. These items made sweats so easy to kill, making basically any game of builds completely unplayable, which is honestly what they get for not playing Zero build. I mean, build sucks, come on guys. Let's also not forget the other sweat destroying device, the cars, which were so fun to drive around in and just instantly kill anyone you run into. Honestly, this season started to become less fun when they started to add counters to the cars, like the Heavy Impact Sniper, the Boogie Bombs, Magneto Power, and the EMPs. They should have just kept the meta the exact same the entire season and never have nerfed anything. Still an amazing weapons meta with so many ways to destroy the sweats, but they just had to complain so hard, so they kind of ruined it. Alright, now we're going to talk about the season's theming. Chapter 5 as a whole, in my opinion, absolutely killed it with its theming for every season, and Wrecked is definitely no exception. Theming an entire season around cars and defocusing actual gunplay and building has got to be one of the most fun and unique things Fortnite has ever done. Everyone knows that Fortnite is more fun without the main thing that made it stand out in the first place, so the fact that they made a season that completely goes against half of the player base is such a bold and amazing move. I mean, who doesn't love sand, explosions, high-speed chases, and collabs? Let's also not gloss over the Battle Pass, which was pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. Megalodon and Bright Raider were my two personal favorites, but it was just a solid Battle Pass all around. We also had some great collabs this season, stuff like Magneto, which kind of served as a precursor to Season 4, Pirates of the Caribbean, Fallout, Lethal Company, and more. As in the season itself, Chapter 5 Season 3 was just a fun, casual, friendly take on a season, which is why it's one of my favorites as a casual myself. But there's just one more thing about this season that I have to talk about. You can't talk about Chapter 5 Season 3 without talking about this. Like I said earlier, this season would have been perfect if they just kept the meta the same as it was in the first 5 days. But they just had to ruin it, didn't they? You see, a large portion of the community was very unhappy with this season's balancing choices, and many clips went viral with sweats crashing out over it. Hilariously, these people who couldn't just adapt to the meta and get with the times had the audacity to complain on Twitter about how terribly balanced and completely uncompetitive the game was. And you want to know the most ridiculous part? They won! Epic caved to their caveman brains and nerfed basically everything only 5 days into the season. Not only this, but they also just kept adding card counters throughout the season too. If the stupid sweats just didn't complain about literally everything, then the best season ever would have been even better. As a wise man once said, the Fortnite players who are supposed to be the best at the game refuse to do anything but put themselves in a box and expect that to work. Epic really just needs to figure out what their true audience is, and it's us casuals, and just give us what we want. Luckily, Really Low dropped during the season, which a lot of sweats tend to gravitate towards, so by that time Battle Royale was free for us to enjoy. But it may have been too late. Cars just kind of became obsolete throughout the season due to how many counters they added and how nerfed they were. Don't get me wrong, I still had a lot of fun with it after the cars got nerfed, but nothing is going to beat those first 5 days of pure skillless, casual friendly fun. And that's just going to be about it for today's shorter video. Make sure to like and subscribe. Stay tuned for a proper season review of Chapter 6 Season 2. Not this, really fun season. That's about it. Peace.